Coming up next on Hooten's Arkansas Football, highlights of some of last night's biggest games, including the 5A South Showdown in Saline County, as the men who wear the stripes played at Bryant. We'll show you how the Battle of Unbeatens went down. Plus, there's two undefeated teams in Little Rock. We'll show you how they did as Pulaski Robinson played host to Malvern and Pulaski Academy traveled to BB. Highlights of those games, plus many more, and the latest Hooten's rankings straight ahead on Hooten's Arkansas Football.
You make sure you're physical.
Well, I'm trying to know the ball game. Get that blood in your eyes and you play with heart.
It's hard to believe, but the regular season for high school football is halfway over. Hello and welcome to Hooten's Arkansas Football. I'm Chad Hooten, and we have exciting highlights from Week 5 of the high school season coming up in the next 30 minutes. We'll have highlights from up at White County. We were at Searcy. Harding Academy also took in that Bald Knob Clinton game down in Saline County. All three teams, big games, Bauxite, Benton, and Bryant. Plus all around our state, we'll try to cram in at least highlights of 15 games in the next 30 minutes here on Hooten's Arkansas Football. We're glad you've tuned in. We also have some pregame pep talks, post-game reaction, and of course, the latest Hooten's ranking. That's all coming up in the next half hour, and we'll get started with Class 2A highlights coming up next on Hooten's Arkansas Football.
Hooten's Arkansas Football is now more of Hooten's Arkansas Football, brought to you by Sonic.
The Harding Academy Wildcats have had their hands full with 5AA North member Mayflower the past couple of seasons. Last night in the first quarter at First Security Stadium, it's junior quarterback Caleb Keys rolling left for Harding and finding classmate Jordan Huckabee for a nice game. That's Jeb's little brother. Keys got loose on the quarterback draw and finishes the run with some authority before Mayflower's Eric Emmel brings him down. But Harding's drive would stall when senior Eagle linebacker Deontay McEwen disrupts this wide receiver screen pass. That forced a Harding punt. Mayflower got its ground game going early. Quarterback John Sanson hands off to Jonathan Jones, turns it upfield. That's a first down before Micah Barnes and Heath Adams bring him down for Harding. 3 plays later, Sanson rolls right and throws the pretty pass. That's junior Herb Grigsby bringing it down. It's a first down for Mayflower, but the Wildcat defense stiffens. Bradley Watkins, Jeff Cavett, and Kill Mears get the sack, and they force the Mayflower punt. Keys wasted no time this time on his second possession, getting loose up the middle and breaking tackles for a first down. Keys moves the chains again with this toss to junior Landon Gaines. Gaines gets open again on the curl and makes a nice move before McEwen gets a hold of him and slams him down. On the next play, Keys capped an 8-play, 77-yard Harding drive with the rollout and the 28-yard TD toss to Heath Adams. Adams added another touchdown catch just before the half, and Keys finished with 3 TD tosses on the night, and the Wildcats cruise over Mayflower this year. Final score, Harding Academy 31, Mayflower 6.
We thought this was going to be probably either our toughest or our next to toughest game in conference, and so with a win like this, it's looking pretty good for us. It's going to come down to us and Carlisle if we play like we should.
And here's a look at Hooten's Arkansas Football Class 2A poll. Shiloh Christian is still on top. And remember, the Saints have played in 4 consecutive state title games. They've only lost to 2 AA teams during that stretch, Barton and Rison. Junction City would like to find its way to Little Rock, and the Dragons right now are sitting alone atop the rugged 7 AA East standings. Rison got a major roadkill last night at Hampton, 10-7. The Wildcats play host to Harmony Grove next week. Carlisle's Bison buried McCrory 47-7, and Charleston rode Ola's Mustangs hard 52-6 in the 4AA. Hampton missed its chance at Rison last night. They traveled to Junction City in 2 weeks. Mineral Springs is number 7, and the name is Cortez Swopes, not Swoops, and he ran for the winning touchdown last night as Mineral Springs beat Murfreesboro 30-23. Camden Harmony Grove's number 8. Danville got a forfeit from Hackett, and Barton is number 10. Murfreesboro is number 11. Josh Holcomb won the Battle of the Backs with Swopes, but the Rattlers are officially snake bit against Mineral Springs. Mineral has won 3 in a row against Murphy. Murfreesboro, and they now have an excellent chance at sweeping the 7AA West for a third consecutive season. Harding Academy's number 12, a little trouble with Mayflower this year, not much at all. They won it big, 31-6. Mount Ida is number 13 and 4-1, and they're doing it all without their top running back from 2000. He transferred to Lakeside. Mayflower's number 14, and Des Arc is 15, up one spot. Bauxite 16. Then it's Hazen. They put a Hazen on Gillette last night, 70-12. Augusta got a big road test coming up next week at Mayflower. Foreman's 19, and Coach Lee Larkin's Greenland Pirates welcome to the top 20 for the first time this season. Coming up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Class 3A highlights, including the high-flying PA Bruins. Next.
Do your job. Count on your buddy to do his job. If he doesn't, help him up. Don't push him down, okay? Encourage him. Get him going. You'll look around. Everybody in this room got on green, fellas. That means one thing, doesn't it? That's the color of the week. I mean, there's no doubt about that. That means we're all together, aren't we? Yes, sir.
Oak Grove became the final team in the state to open conference play last night, and the Hornets quickly made up for lost time. On their first possession, quarterback Matt Pruss lobs an arching pass to sophomore Garrett Matsume. That's a 25-yard pickup for the Hornets. 3 plays later, it's Lance Boykins scampering around the left end, 22-yard touchdown, and Oak Grove leads early 7-0. Atkins found itself in a pickle last week after star running back Nick Stokes injured his neck, probably ending his career. The Red Devils tried to pass last night. Quarterback Ryan Burris tries to go short, but he's creamed by Matt Moore, number 82, with the stick. On the next play, Burris tries to go across the middle, but look at the linebacker. That's number 57, Michael Knight, tipping it to himself, and that thwarts an Atkins drive. And the Hornets smell blood. On the next play, Marcus Bobbitt sweeps right, makes an Atkins defender dive to the ground, and prances in for one of his 2 touchdowns on the night. Oak Grove scored 3 more times in the second half and moved to 1-0 in 5 AAA. Final score, Hornets 38, Atkins 7. The surprising Clinton Yellow Jackets lost their first game last week to Hoxie. Last night they were back at it ahead 21-7 at Bald Knob, with a chance to add to its lead early in the third quarter. Inside the 10-yard line, it's 4th down, but Bald Knob's defense is going to step up. Look at Bulldog Matt Higgins. He sacks quarterback Brian Spence, and that turns the ball over to the Bulldogs. 2 plays later, it's Bald Knob's Roderick Johnson doing his best Barry Sanders impersonation, reversing the field and racing 84 yards down the sideline. Wow, that's a 14-point swing, and it cuts Clinton's lead to 7. Johnson finished with 116 yards on 10 carries last night. Clinton's resilient, though. They respond as Justin Smith finds the corner. This guy got loose for scoring runs of 62 and 63 yards in the first half, but Clinton fumbled a play later, and the Bulldog comeback was on. Quarterback Michael Wamick finds Johnson on the out pattern. 5 plays later, it's Wamick pitching to Michael Mickelson, where Clinton's Garrett Bonds finally trips him up. On the next play, though, Todd Branscombe drags some Yellow Jackets for a nice gain, and 5 plays later, Johnson bulls in from 1 yard out. Devin Miller's extra point tied it at 21, and in the fourth quarter, it belonged to Bald Knob. The Bulldogs completed the comeback, rallied to win. Final score, Bald Knob 28, Clinton 21. On a full moon night at BB, the natives were shaking cans of BBs, of course. And, of course, there's always someone wanting to make a fashion statement on Hooten's highlights. Carhartt overalls minus the undershirt. Tell you what, that's a real good look now. True story. This guy wagered not to cut his hair for a year. It's almost payday. Number 5, Pulaski Academy led early 7-0 after a nifty punt return by Blake Miller. Record-setting quarterback Thomas Thrash passes for 18 of his 361 yards last night. His favorite receivers, Quentin Jones, number 4. On the next play, Jones breaks tackles, cuts across field. He's headed to the end zone, but this play was called back due to a penalty. No problem for PA. Rob Bradsher hauls in a pass for a first down. 4 plays later, Thrash hits Jones in the end zone, and this one counts. Thrash completed 30 of 42 passes for 5 touchdowns last night, and PA has scored more than 60 points twice in the past 3 weeks. Final score, Bruins 63, BB 26. And with that win, Pulaski Academy is in the driver's seat of the 5 AAA. Hey, everybody scores for PA, even Scott Landers, an offensive tackle, ran for a 10-yard touchdown last night. And the Bruins are ranked number 5 overall in Class 3A. Warren is number 1. The Lumberjacks with a big win over Star City last night. Then it's Dollarway and Boonville, which is unbeaten and untested so far. Nashville's number 4. Dardanelle starts the second 5. The Sand Lizards escaped Waldron with the win last night. Gosnell's number 7, then it's Clarksville and DeQueen. Star City is the first of 3 straight 8 AAA teams. The Bulldogs are number 10, then it's Fordyce and Hamburg. That's a great conference. Gravitt's number 13. They're set to play for the 1 AAA title this coming week against Prairie Grove. Yellville's number 14, then it's Rivercrest. Oak Grove is at number 16, followed by Brinkley, the Bulldogs, the Badgers, and Prairie Grove Tigers, now in the top 20. Coming up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas football. Class 4A highlights, the Airedales and Searcy, plus more coming straight up.
Of Hooten's Arkansas football, brought to you by Arkansas Heart Hospital.
Pulaski Robinson has been the surprise team of Class 4A so far, and the Cinderella Senators were hoping the glass slippers still fit against one-time power Malvern. We pick up the action in the second half. Robinson's ahead 14-0, and Malvern quarterback Lynn Honeycutt tries to ignite the Leopards with a big play. Instead, Robinson's defense corrals Honeycutt, and Jeffrey Moore bulldogs him to the ground. Next play, and still more Robinson defense. This time, safety Matt Hathcott. He picks up Honeycutt's pass and darts to the 11-yard line. Robinson held Malvern to 181 total yards and only 3 first downs in the second half. 4 plays later, Robinson quarterback Clifton Mateus dives in from the 1-yard line, and Robinson takes command 21-0. Mateus scored 3 touchdowns last night, all after Malvern turnovers. The Senators later scored 2 more touchdowns and stay unbeaten. Robinson's 5-0. Final score, Senators 33, Malvern zilch. Last year, the Alma Airedales blew out the Searcy Lions, and a few days later, 15 players quit the Searcy football team. This year, those players are back, and Searcy's off to its best start in 10 years. The 2001 Lions hope to take control of the 4A West Conference last night with a win over rival Alma at Lions Stadium. After a scoreless first quarter, the Airedales took control, though. A 7-play, 70-yard drive, sparked by quarterback Greg Sivils on the option keeper there. Then, it's senior tailback Bo Johnson running hard up the middle to set up Sivils' 1-yard quarterback sneak. That put Alma ahead early. The Lions don't fool anyone on their next possession as the Airedales' Garth Goodwin and Justin Brown sniff out the reverse. 3 plays later, it's senior Airedale Cody Chastney picking off the big pass, and the Airedales would roll in the second half. Final score, Alma 21, Searcy 0. Another big win for Alma. The Airedales are right behind Hope in our poll. Alma's defense has allowed just 10 points in the past 3 games. Osceola checks in at number 3. Then it's the Billies and the Yellow Jackets. The Ricebirds are number 6. Stuttgart plays at Monticello this week for what will likely decide the 4A Southeast Championship. Watson Chapel's right behind the Ricebirds, another team from the Southeast. Then it's Marlton, Arkadelphia, and Searcy rounding out the top 10. Pulaski Robinson's undefeated in number 11. Then it's Fair and Greenwood. The Greenwood Bulldogs won at Cricket Creek last night to keep their playoff hopes alive. Magnolia's 14, then it's Crosset. Harrison drops to 16 after their loss to Greenwood. Greene County Tech is 17, then it's Newport, Whitehall, and West Helena. Up next, more of Hooten's Arkansas football. The Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week is still ahead, plus Class 5A highlights next.
Feedback.
Homecoming 2001 at number 3 Bryant. As if visiting Pine Bluff did not pose enough of a distraction, Tina Barnes is crowned queen, and hey, every queen loves a patriotic song. Bryant's offense was averaging more than 400 yards per game, but it gets off to an ominous start. Lance Parker's pass is intercepted by Scott Wesley, who returns it 26 yards inside the Bryant 30, and the Zebras are in business. They go to work with James Iverson. I love to watch Pine Bluff run the sweep. Then it's Michael Williams fighting for yardage. but the drive stalls. Michael Brown kicks the field goal, and Pine Bluff is up 3-0. Bryant comes right back, undaunted. Parker throws deep again, and this time it's complete to receiver A.J. Nixon all the way down to the Zebra 25. Brandon's St. Pierre shows you how to catch the football. It's with the hands, baby. But Bryant would have to settle for a field goal attempt. This one, 33 yards, and the first of 4 failed attempts on the night. On its next possession, Bryant would settle for nothing less than 6. Parker hit sure-handed Zach Cardinal, who almost reaches pay dirt. Can't quite get there. Bryant would score on the next play, made it 7-3 Hornets. The lead did not last long. Zebras can run and Zebras can pass. At least quarterback Omar Blunt can. He completed 12 of 24 passes last night for 231 yards and this touchdown. A long wobbler to Williams for the score, and that put Pine Bluff ahead for good, 10-7. Bryant's defense held Pine Bluff to just 2 first downs in the second half, but the high-flying Hornets managed just 1 touchdown. A 22-yard field goal attempt by Bryant to win with about 2 minutes left. Never had a chance after a high snap, and Pine Bluff ruins homecoming at Bryant. Final score, Zebras 17, Bryant 14. It was homecoming in Cabot last night, too. But more importantly, West Memphis was in town for a key 5A East showdown. Cabot led 21-14 at halftime, but West Memphis had a chance to tie it up early in the third quarter on 4th down and goal. In the trenches, this is Cabot's game. The defense says no. Josh Green, Louis DeFoye, and company turn away West Memphis. Panther running back Chris Robertson gets Cabot out of the hole. This sophomore is the real deal. Big game last week against Mills, 159 yards last night, and he scored the winning touchdown in overtime. Final score, Cabot 28, West Memphis 21. Conway came to Little Rock last night hoping to avoid a letdown against Parkview after its big win over Central last week. Close to 500 fans on hand at Scott Field to see the Wampus Cats and the Patriots. Parkview looked good early with nice running. That's Leonard Hall coming right at you, but Conway looked even better. Senior quarterback Dennis Jones avoids the rush, scouts out a receiver, and finds Jason Deere for the kill. This one was all Conway the rest of the way, and the Wampus Cats are in the driver's seat of a wreck called the 5A Central Conference. Final score, Conway 36, Parkview 7. And real quick, here's a look at Hooten's Arkansas football Class 5A poll. Springdale and Southside swap spots. Springdale won in overtime over Fayetteville last night. Southside had the turnover bug and lost to Russellville. They dropped to number 2. Northside's 3. The only undefeated team in 5A is Bentonville. Sam Walton would be proud. There's Cabot. West Memphis is up to number 6. Texarkana is 7. And Pine Bluff, big physical and a veteran quarterback. The Zebras are up to number 8. Then it's Bryant, Russellville back in the top 10. Conway, El Dorado, Benton, Little Rock Central, and Van Buren. Fayetteville's at number 16. Then it's Rogers, Mills, Mountain Home, and Little Rock McClellan.
Now the Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week.
While Fort Smith Southside is well on its way to making it back to the state title game, Rebel defensive end Aaron McGuire is balancing his success on the field with success in the classroom, where he's earned a 3.92 GPA.
Football's a good outlet for college maybe, but academics, there's quite a few more opportunities. I just keep both open and just strive to do good in both because that opens your windows for your future.
Makes good sense. Part of the reason why Aaron McGuire is our Marine Scholar Athlete of the Week.
And thank you for watching Hooten's Arkansas football today. We will be back again next Saturday night right here with more highlights as the playoff races heat up and the conference championship races continue. We'll see you next Saturday night here on Hooten's Arkansas football.
You make sure you're physical.
Blunt riding on the ball game. Get that blood in your eye and you play with heart.